Hey guys, it's Coach Rebecca. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are whipping up an amazing recipe that has a little hint of Asian inspiration. That's right, tonight we are doing a ginger soy flank steak, and we're gonna serve that with some sugar snap peas for my family who loves sugar snap peas. And then I am doing a kale salad. It's actually a warm kale salad with a tahini ginger dressing on it, you guys. Super simple recipe. Let's get at it.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys, so let's get started. I want to show you all the ingredients you're going to need and how simple this recipe is going to get. You're going to need about 1.5 pounds of a flat iron steak or a round steak. I'll show you that in a second. You're going to need some crushed red pepper flakes, honey, holy guacamole, holy guacamole. We've got some garlic here, so we've got some crushed garlic that we're going to need, some low sodium soy sauce, and then of course the piece de resistance. You need some ginger. I'm gonna go first over with you what you're gonna need to make this delicious ginger soy flank steak, you guys. What we're gonna do this afternoon is we're just gonna get everything into a Ziploc bag so that it can sit in the refrigerator and marinate until we're ready to eat dinner tonight. All right, so first things first, let's get our steak cut up. Again, you're gonna use about 1.5 pounds of round steak. This is actually more than that. We've got 2 pounds here. So it's actually just over 2 pounds, but we're gonna get it going. All you're gonna do is you're gonna cut this into fairly thin strips, you guys, maybe like 1 inch or so a piece. So again, you're gonna just cut it into some thin strips. I'll get those rocking here, you guys. So just so I can show you for a moment. And the heating instructions will be in there, but this is about the size that you're gonna go. If you're just cutting them up thin, they're gonna be little strips of steak bites for you. And in a second here, I'm just gonna trim off some of this excess fat that we don't need on there. So get that out of here. And again, I've got more than what I need here, but hey, this is an amazing leftover, you guys. In fact, when we did this last time, I think we probably had, just maybe 1 serving leftover, and it was something that my husband enjoyed being able to take to work, and it tasted even better the day after. All right, so we're almost done cutting up here. Of course, this is as simple as it gets when it comes to your protein. So we're just cutting up the small little bite-sized pieces here, and then we're gonna whip together the marinade. And like I said, the marinade is a combination of low sodium soy sauce, a little bit of honey, some crushed peppers, we've got some garlic in there, and of course we've got the ginger in there. I know, it sounds delicious, doesn't it? And you guys, all you're gonna do once this marinates, and it can marinate, ideally you're gonna marinate it for at least an hour in your refrigerator so that it gets nice and marinated. I'm gonna set this aside, we'll deal with that later. So we don't need that anymore. We're gonna chuck this meat into this Ziploc bag. It's perfect for marinating, so let's get that into the Ziploc bag here. All right, so that's in our Ziploc bag. Let's get rid of this. Wash my hands. All right, it's time to make the marinade. Now, what we're gonna need for the marinade, I'm gonna grab my little container. You could do this just in a bowl, you guys, but I'm just gonna stick it in the Ninja and whip it up a little bit to make sure all those ingredients are mixed together nicely. So for our sauce, we are gonna use, let's see here, about 2 tablespoons of crushed garlic. So 2 tablespoons. I know it might sound like a lot, but as you guys know, if you're back for another time to ditch the scale here, you know I love garlic. So we've got 2 tablespoons of garlic in there, 1 tablespoon of crushed red peppers. So 1 full tablespoon of crushed red peppers. That's gonna give it a nice little pop and zing. So bam, that's gonna go in there. Then we are gonna use 1 tablespoon of raw honey. I love honey because it kind of is gonna add that little bit of sweetness to this recipe. And again, you guys, so incredibly delicious. Organic honey, it gives you that pop of sweetness, and it still is good for you. So how can you go wrong there? All right, now we're gonna do a teaspoon of, actually, let's see here, how much soy sauce do we need here? We need actually about a 1/4 cup of the reduced sodium soy. So let me grab my 1/4 cup. All right, grab a 1/4 cup of that, take my cap off, pour that in there. Oh, I almost forgot, you guys, one of the ingredients in this recipe, I think we need a little bit of lime, freshly squeezed lime. We need about 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lime. And then we're gonna do the ginger, and that's gonna be the last piece, and we do about a tablespoon of ginger. If you really like ginger, go ahead and throw 2 tablespoons in, but a tablespoon should be plenty, and it's gonna give that nice little zest there. So I'm just gonna squeeze my lime in here. So again, we're just gonna squeeze about a 1/2 of a lime, and that's gonna give you a nice little bit of acidity to go with this. Ah, perfect. Okay, boom, into there it goes. And then last but not least, our delicious ginger, which I'm gonna throw in here. Again, we got about a tablespoon of ginger. Got that in there. All right, let's pop my top on. I'm gonna run over to my Ninja and whip this up for a second. And then we will be all set to go, you guys. All right, I can't wait to open this because I know I'm gonna smell all of those delicious combinations, the ginger, the garlic, the crushed red pepper. So good. And you guys, it smells even better when you guys throw this on the skillet later to brown up these amazing pieces of meat. And look, we just did this, right? I bet you it's probably been less than 5 minutes. We got this together, we cut up our meat. All we're gonna do now is pour this on top of our meat. I'm gonna try and get a little bit of the air out of here. I just zip my bag, and we're just gonna move this around a little bit. Get it all over this delicious meat. And guess what? We're gonna set it aside in the refrigerator, and in an hour it'll be ready, but for my family it'll be a couple hours before they get home. And then all you're gonna need to do with this is you're gonna pop it on the oven or on the stove top in a skillet. You're gonna brown it up just nicely. Probably 5 to 8 minutes total is gonna take to cook this up, you guys. And again, it's gonna be so delicious. And then just so you know, I'm not showing you today how I'm gonna prepare the sugar snap peas, but all I do is take those sugar snap peas. Once I've cooked the meat thoroughly, I remove the meat from the sauce or from the skillet and put it on a plate so that it can rest. And then I take my fresh sugar snap peas and I just throw them right in that same exact skillet, add a teeny little bit of water, or you could actually use a beef broth. And you guys, all you need is a splash in there. And it's gonna take all of those juices that have rendered from our beef or from our marinade here that has gone onto our red meat, and it is gonna get all over those sugar snap peas, and it's so delicious. My family loves it every single time we make this recipe. All right, guys, so I'm gonna set this aside, and then we're gonna talk about our kale salad with the tahini ginger dressing. All right, guys, let's talk about our kale tahini ginger salad. This salad is a perfect side to our ginger soy flank steak. But for me, I love it because I am a kale fanatic. One of the things that happens to me because I have rheumatoid arthritis is I am always looking for ways to improve my joint health, number one, but also to decrease inflammation within my joints and in my body. And guess what? Kale is a powerful superfood that helps me do that. Kale is loaded with all sorts of nutrients, but more importantly for me, because of the anti-inflammatory piece, it's loaded with omega-3s and omega-6s. So I am taking all of this beautiful kale, and actually today, instead of roasting it in the oven like I normally do for a salad, for a fresh warm salad, we're actually blanching it in some water, and it's gonna go in for about 3 minutes, you guys. So I'm gonna toss this in the water so it can blanch for about 3 minutes, and then we're gonna rinse it off and drain it. And while it's cooking in the water for about 3 minutes, we're gonna whip together the dressing that is so easy and delicious. All right, let's get this in there. So our water's been boiling. I'm just gonna toss this yummy kale And now that my water is boiling, I'm going to turn my heat down just a little bit. Boom. That is in there. I was so lucky. One of the ladies from my daughter's cheer gym gave me a ton of kale yesterday. So I immediately started thinking about some delicious recipes that I could use it for. All right, so our kale is in here and it's submerged and cooking up for us. And now we're gonna make this delicious dressing. So the first thing you're gonna need for this dressing is going to be about a 1/4 cup of either grapeseed oil, sunflower oil. That's probably my 2 top recommendations. I'm actually using a roasted garlic grapeseed oil. And we're gonna do, again, about a 1/4 cup. So we're gonna get that in there. Boom. All right, so the next thing we're gonna use is 3 tablespoons of tahini. So I'm gonna get my little tahini out and get that added in there. So we're gonna go 3 tablespoons of tahini. And for my 21-day fixers who follow me, I will include the container counts in this recipe when I post it into the website as well as online here. Just so you know, I know it's always hard. This will probably actually end up, just based on the ingredients, to just be an orange container. But you guys, again, I will post the specifics of all of the container counts for the 21-day fix in the recipe details. All right, next thing we need is some soy sauce, you guys. We're doing 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. So again, so far we've got a 1/4 cup of that grapeseed oil. We have 3 tablespoons of tahini, 2 tablespoons of, or actually 3 tablespoons of soy. And then we are gonna now add in some rice vinegar. So we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. Look how simple this is, you guys. 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. That is in there. All right, I've got my teaspoon because guess what? I always like a little added kick. So I'm gonna put a little teaspoon of sriracha in here that they recommend for those of us who like things a little spicy. So boom, got my sriracha in there. Now we're gonna go 1 tablespoon of our organic honey. And got that in there. It does say to do 1 clove of garlic, you guys, but because I used already infused garlic grapeseed oil, I'm not adding additional garlic to this, so don't be even really overly concerned about that. And then last but not least, we are going to do our ginger. And the ginger, we're just gonna use about a teaspoon and a half. So I'm just gonna pop that in there. All right, so boom, we've got all of our all of our ingredients in here. I'm gonna pop my top on, get this mixing, and we're gonna get our kale already rinsed off because it's been about 2 minutes. I think it's probably ready for us. All right, guys, it's all mixed up, ready to go on top of our salad, but let's rinse off this kale and get it out of our pan here. You guys, I could eat kale and spinach every day. I am a freak. I will probably be the only person who's actually eating this salad because, 1, I probably won't want to share it with anybody, but just in case, my family might eat it. All right, let's get it rinsed out. All right, so we've got it all blanched and then rinsed out. I'm gonna actually toss it into a bowl right now, you guys. And I actually won't use, I'm gonna do a little bit more kale later, but I'm just gonna take this wonderful dressing that we've got here, and I'm just gonna lightly pour it over our kale. I'm just using a teeny little bit. A little goes a long way, you guys, when it comes to dressings. So now I'm just gonna do like I always do, and I am just gonna shake it up to get that dressing all over this yummy kale. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to wait till dinner for our family to get home to eat this. And you guys, the perfect topping on top of this is you could actually throw some fresh pine nuts on there. I think that'd be delicious and yummy. Or you could actually use some sesame seeds. But again, if you can see that dressing is just perfectly all over this. It's warm and ready to go. In fact, I'm gonna take a little bite. You guys, it's so good. It's just warm, and that little bit of zing that's in there from the sriracha, you can taste the ginger, and the little nuttiness that you get from the tahini. the sweetness from the honey. Oh my gosh, you guys, a little bit of that soy, so it gets that a little bit of that sodium in there. You guys, it's so incredibly delicious. I'm gonna have to try my darndest to not eat this all up before my family gets home tonight. All right, so that is our simple kale salad with tahini ginger dressing. It is gonna go with our ginger soy flank steak for dinner tonight. And then we're gonna also add in some sugar snap peas. And you guys, I'll post later with the detailed recipes in. I gotta swallow. Oh my gosh, so good. And you guys, make this recipe at home. Your family is gonna love it. And even better, this is a recipe that can be done not only for dinner, but the leftovers are so delicious the day after. All right, guys, that's it for today. Have an amazing afternoon. I hope you guys like this recipe. And as always, love ya.